They say you should love your neighbors, but when my housewarming party ended with Karen in a bathrobe screaming about a gang takeover while 50 off-duty deputies devoured ribs on my lawn, I knew I'd etched my name into neighborhood legend with the most chaotic, glorious first impression ever. 3 weeks earlier, I'd rolled my pickup into the driveway of my new home, clueless that I was stepping into a battlefield. The house was a Gemma fixer-upper with a sprawling backyard begging for barbecues. What I didn't know was that it sat under the iron grip of an HOA ruled by Karen, a woman who wielded bylaws like a holy writ and kept the street cowering with threats and fines. My welcome came with a sharp tap on my truck's mirror. There stood Karen, arms crossed, lips pursed like she'd swallowed a wasp. Her pristine bob and steely glare screamed control freak. Without so much as a "hi," she launched into a litany of rules: trash cans hidden, no street parking, no unapproved decorations, no gatherings over 8 without HOA approval. I nodded, already scheming to shatter every rule by sundown. That first week, I kept my head down, hauling boxes and patching drywall, but I felt her eyes. Through blinds, from sidewalks, Karen watched like a vulture. Neighbors scurried past, their tight smiles screaming, "You're on your own." The street was her fiefdom, and she was the queen. The party wasn't meant to be a middle finger to her, it just snowballed. Freshly retired, I wanted to settle in, meet the locals. Most of my buddies were deputies, sheriffs, first responders, folks who'd earned a cold one and a hot plate. A quick text to a few pals spread like wildfire. By week's end, 50 confirmed, a dozen maybes, and my backyard was prepped for war. 3 days before the bash, Karen struck again, shoving a highlighted HOA rulebook into my hands, warning sheet. Monitor traffic patterns. I bit back a laugh. Me guests enforced traffic laws. I told her I'd keep it in mind, watching her strut off, smug as a cat with a canary. The day before, preparations went full commando. We strung lights, mapped parking, picked music that wouldn't trip noise ordinances. My buddies joked it was tighter than a sweat-op. Karen patrolled with binoculars and a notepad, scribbling every time a cooler rolled in. I knew she was cooking up trouble. Party day dawned calm. Guests arrived with lawn chairs, chuckling about Karen's hostile territory, VYB. As more deputies pulled up, some in uniform, a few with K9s romping in the yard, the scene turned surreal. County SUVs lined the street, badges glinting in the sun, and Karen's blinds twitched like a storm was brewing. An hour in, as I flipped burgers, a neighbor whispered that Karen was on her phone, pacing her porch like a caged tiger. Then came the sirens. 3 cruisers screamed down the street. Karen stood in her driveway, waving like a shipwrecked sailor, shrieking into her phone. The REVYing officers froze, spotting their buddies grinning over plates of ribs. One deputy did a double take, nearly tripping when he saw his captain by the keg. Karen, realizing her screw-up, went stiff as a board, her bathrobe flapping as the crowd roared. Someone caught it all on video. Stunned silence, the dawning horror, the eruption of laughter when my pal Mike, badge gleaming, handed her a plate of ribs and said, "Welcome to the neighborhood." The clip went viral, but Karen's humiliation only stoked her fury. As the party wound down, neighbors lingered, laughing freely for the first time in years. The street exhaled, but Karen vanished inside, plotting revenge. By morning, her counterattack began. Guests found fake HOA citations on their windshields. "Unauthorized parking, public disturbance," printed on stolen letterhead. The deputies collected them like medals, joking about framing them at the precinct. Karen escalated, filing an HOA complaint accusing me of an unsanctioned gathering that endangered the community. Her melodramatic letter painted my barbecue as a lawless riot, conveniently ignoring the law enforcement guests. My neighbor Jim, a retired sheriff, brought me a copy, and we cackled over coffee as Karen scurried down the sidewalk, delivering her propaganda. She didn't stop there. She called the county with noise complaints, unaware the dispatchers were party guests. She demanded fire code inspections, zoning checks, even tried to revoke my property permit with fabricated claims. Each move was met with chuckles or shrugs. It was almost sad, like watching a boxer swing at shadows. But Karen was relentless. She pushed the HOA board into a closed-door emergency session to censure me, summoning me to defend myself. The letter read like a courtroom thriller. I could have lawyered up, but my buddies had a sharper plan. I compiled a binder, videos of the peaceful party, footage of Karen spying, her forged citations, notarized statements from deputies confirming no laws were broken. At the meeting, Karen sat at the table's head, tapping her clipboard like a judge's gavel, her allies looking drained. She launched into a tirade about rules and unruly behavior, citing obscure bylaws. When my turn came, I laid out my case, calm and lethal. Videos showed deputies tossing beanbags, kids playing, neighbors wavvying. Statements from sheriffs vouched for order. I exposed Karen's fake citations and harassment. Her face reddened. A board member edged away. The board dismissed her charges unanimously, then Sweet Justice censured Karen for abuse of power, stripping her ability to issue citations. She stormed out, toppling a chair, the door slamming like a gunshot. I thought that'd be the end, but Karen's defeat only fueled her vendetta. She glared at me on the street, scribbled in her notebook, her hostility now a blazing neon sign. My buddy suggested a second party bigger, Bolderto drive the point home, bullies don't win. Tactical barbecue too was born. The guest list swelled, deputies, firefighters, EMTs, even federal agents I'd worked with. We planned like general sparking grids, food truck placements, permits filed to the letter. Karen tried to sabotage it, emailing neighbors about dangerous gatherings and criminal ascendancy slandering first responders. I countered with a calm email detailing the event's legality and my guests serve VYC. Neighbors ignored her. Her lies flopped. 2 days before, Karen pulled a surprise property inspection, hoping to nail me. My yard was pristine, grass clipped, no trash, rules followed. She left empty-handed, fuming. Party day dawned VY Brant. Guests poured in, food trucks hummed, laughter filled the air. Neighbors joined, bringing casseroles, fearless of Karen's wrath. At noon, AK-9 unit demos stole the show, dogs leaping, kids cheering, even skeptics grinning. Karen's final play came mid-afternoon. A fire truck rolled up, sirens blaring. My heart sank. Had she won? Then I saw the banners, happy housewarming and community appreciation. My buddy Dave had invited the firehouse. Firefighters handed out helmets, posed for photos, and Karen, watching from her window, dropped her phone, her plan obliterated. The party became a town-wide celebration, her defeat sealed. The next day, whispers spread, Karen was pushing a neighborhood reVYEW to fine, censure, or EVYCT me, citing safety concerns. She'd scheduled a meeting, banking on fear to sway residents. She miscalculated. Neighbors rallied, dropping off pies, signing petitions, thanking me for defying her. We shared party videos exposing her lies. The meeting packed the community center, tension crackling. Karen spoke first, while VYing documents, calling me a lawless outsider who corrupted youth. Her passion was unhinged whispers, eye rolls, shaking heads. I spoke simply, community isn't rules, it's trust, respect, standing together. I highlighted the parties, the friendships, the first responders who joined as neighbors. The vote was a landslide. Her motion crushed. Then a neighbor proposed ousting Karen as HOA president. Cheers erupted. The vote was near unanimous. Karen, stunned, fled, her papers scattering, heels clicking into silence. Peace settled in. Neighbors lingered in yards, kids played freely, decorations bloomed without fines. Karen tried a comeback, forming a traditional values committee, handing me a flyer with a forced smile. I tossed it unmoved. Her scheme's anonymous complaints, letters to officials fizzled. The new HOA, led by Sarah, a voice of reason, set transparent rules, curbing tyrants like Karen. Block parties flourished. Trust grew. One evening at a park cookout, every neighbor joined, music played, Fireflies danced. Karen was spotted later, alone in her car, watching. Her power was gone, her influence ash. Months later, Karen ran for county office. Her campaign signs were sparse, her rallies empty. She lost with under 5% of the vote, her obsession with control laid bare. The neighborhood Trvedmo Vye nights, chili cook-offs, a community reborn. Sitting on my porch with Jim, beers clinking, I realized I hadn't just found a house but a home. Karen's tyranny had united us. Her downfall taught us fear loses when good people stand firm. As stars lit the sky, I toasted to laughter, to stubborn hearts, and to a community that fought for freedom.